was the fact that those same young people, 3 years before, had seen 36 people killed at the hands of the police and the U.S. Army. Because 3 years before, just south of downtown LA, Watts, there had been another protest by the African American and Mexican American community, and 36 people were killed. 30 of them African American, black, and 6 of them Chicano, Mexican, Latinos. At the hands, as I said, of the police and the army. Yeah, they called in the army to stop the protest. There was martial law in that area. You had to be in your houses at 9 o'clock. They brought in jeeps, they brought in tanks, they brought in machine guns, and they, as I said, by accident or otherwise, they killed 36 people. Now, these same young people that you saw as the leaders had seen that on TV, and they were probably your grade level, 8th, 9th graders, maybe some even younger, that had seen it on TV. All happened on TV because it was on. And in spite of the fears they had that the same thing might happen to them, they went out in the streets anyway. The movie didn't show you that the young people, many of them were crying, as you cried last night. Many of them were actually crying going out. Nobody forced them. But because they knew that they needed teachers to treat them with dignity, they knew that they needed teachers and the community to treat them with respect, to give them a real opportunity for a good future. Most of them knew, because most of the leadership were seniors and 11th graders, that any changes wouldn't affect them. Any changes in the schools would not affect them at all. In fact, they knew what they were really doing was I don't know if they knew it was historic, but they knew they would not benefit from what they did. But there was, as I told them later, you have opened the doors of colleges for young people with Spanish surnames all across the country. Up until then, and those same young people, the same heroic young people, blasted the doors open. In television, you started having reporters, men and women. You started having Chicano weather women. Okay? You didn't have that before. You had it also, not only did it happen there, but in business. You had a lot more young people and general Spanish surname folks beginning to help run big companies. It also changed politics. Up until then, there was no such thing as the Mexican American Legal Defense Fund. It was created at the time because of the need for legal help for the young people and other folks that were involved. The Hispanic caucus in Congress, it did not exist to the degree that it existed after the walkouts. Howard was taken over. The kids, the young children, the young high school students opened doors for power for nuestra comunidad. I choose to call them the greatest generation of high school students that the United States has ever produced, and it's absolutely true. I was proud and honored to have led them. God damn it, I did a damn good job too. Give me a hand. Education is so important to me that when I first started teaching, young Lincoln teacher, I was young once, by the way, I really was. I walked in way back in can you believe it? None of you were around, and I mean none of you were around 1965. And I walk into the principal's office, and I see the student body president crying, happened to be a girl, crying in the principal's office. Her name happened to be Anita Contreras, very bright young lady. She was crying in the principal's office. And I said, Anita, what's wrong? And as I stuck my head in, the principal saw me, and then I also saw her parents. her parents were in the principal's office. I said, damn, she really must have done something wrong. But the parents being there. And then the principal, Mr. George Ingalls, says, Mr. Castro, you speak Spanish, right? I said, sir, you see the map of Mexico all over my face. I only speak Chinese. All right, anyway. Yes, I speak Spanish, sir. Well, we got a problem here. Anita has been offered a full scholarship to Occidental College. Full scholarship. Worth today's money, $200,000. And if you know Los Angeles, and Lincoln High and Occidental College, it's about 3 miles apart. And so the problem, the principal says, is that the stipulation, the condition, is that Anita must live on campus for 2 years. And their parents think it's ridiculous, particularly her father. He says, I can take her in my truck every day. It's only 3 miles away. Well, Occidental College says, no. Unless she lives on campus, we're going to have to rescind or take the offer away. So we're at an impasse here. The parents don't want to budge, and Occidental doesn't want to budge. You think you can help us? So take a deep sigh and say, Anita, how bad do you want to go? She starts crying more. I want to go, Mr. Castro. And I said, well, keep a straight face. How much English do your parents know? Not a word. So, señores, yo soy el señor Castro, profesor aquí de Historia Americana, Gobierno, y también consejero de las universidades aquí en esta escuela secundaria. La beca que le están ofreciendo a su hija es beca federal. Aquí en este país no se juega con el gobierno federal. Si no aceptan la beca, los van a multar, hasta quizás echarlos a la cárcel. Well, I'll tell it in English, and I'll tell you the part. You know what I was saying? She had a scholarship offer from Occidental College for $200,000 today's money. But the parents didn't want her to go, as I told you, because they thought it was silly. The parents wanted to drive her. They didn't want her to live on campus. But so I told the parents, this is the punchline. You know, and later in life, I asked, did I really say that? You know, did I really say that? And somebody got to Anita, because I haven't seen her, period, for years. Since then, actually, when she graduated, no, but she came back to teach at Lincoln for a little bit. I saw her then. But then I started thinking, because they interviewed me for a book they're going to do. Yeah, they're going to do a book on my adventures. It's coming out next year. It's University of North Carolina Press. Anyway, I asked, I said, did I really say that? And so it got back to Anita, and she said, he said that and more. Scared the hell out of my parents. Anyway, so what I said was, the scholarship that they're offering is a federal scholarship. And in this country, you don't fool around with the federal government. If you don't accept the scholarship, they're liable to throw you in jail. So you better accept the scholarship. So they did. Okay? Now you give me a hand again. You belong in college. You're here because your next stop after graduating from high school is going to be going to college. And right now, I want you to promise me that, how many have boyfriends here? Boyfriends, raise your hand. You have a boyfriend? Very few, that's good. Very few. How about girlfriends? You guys have girlfriends? I want you to promise me you're going to dump them. Many of you are going, most of you are going on. How many ninth graders or incoming ninth graders here? Raise your hand. So that means that a lot of you, how many 10th graders here already? All right. Well, you're already in high school. Somebody, and do I have any incoming 8th graders? No, so then we got 9, 10, and going to the 11th. Okay, that's cool. Now, your parents did not send you to high school, or would have not sent you to high school to find a boyfriend or a husband, ladies. Gentlemen, your mothers didn't send you to high school to find a wife. They send you to school to get an education. Now, I hear all the time from the high school students, 11th and 12th graders, I asked Mija, you going to college? Yeah, my boyfriend's going to let me go. Ora, que dile, cabrón, so for him to go too. And you know, and I'm serious, because I'm looking here, and it's the same audience that I spoke to a week ago in Sacramento. Mostly girls. Ladies, you have to grab those cabron boys sitting next to you and tell them they got to stay in school, get good grades, graduate, and go to college too. Because you know, and it's getting harder to get into college. They're raising the requirements. And if you lose 10 hours a week, just, you know, hablando de puras quién sabe qué, then your grades will go down. I bet you, and prove me wrong, that if you dump the boyfriend, just have friends, not serious, boys and girls, your grade will go up 1 notch. From a C to a B to an A. And you're going to need that. It's important. The SAT, and if your SAT is not so hot, your grades are going to count more. So it's critical that you start now. And it's critical for you young boys who have friends. I'm sure you have friends say, hey, cabrones, let's start getting together to study. You're going to graduate from high school. You're going to graduate from college. Because when I speak to college classes, or actually seniors graduating, I say, you know, more girls are graduating from high school and going to college. And all the girls are stopping. Astronauts go home with a book under their arm. Graduates of West Point, the military academy, put books under their arms. The Annapolis, the Naval Academy. And the Naval Academy, a lot of Marines graduate from there. They got books under their arms. It ain't sissified to have books. Smart. Because you make a lot more feria if you're a college graduate. Pass it on to the boys that aren't here. And ladies, you're a bigger influence on the boys. Pass it on to the boys. And don't you dare have a boyfriend anymore. Tell him adios, mijo. He's going to go to college, but tell him, we'll both go to college. But don't tell him you're not going to the same college, okay? Just tell him we'll both go to college. You go there, I'll go here. Okay? When you go back to your schools, many of you will want to have or already have mechas or whatever club you want to call it. Many teachers and principals get scared when they hear the word mecha, because to them it's supposed to be a very sinister thing. A club for Latinos? Sinister? Hell no. Bullshit. The list here says, what is the responsibility of the club? First of all, club members stay in school and graduate and go on to college and graduate and give a helping hand to those behind you so that they can also graduate and go on to college. And one of the ways you're going to do it is you're going to go back to your elementary school and your middle school. The teachers, the nice teachers that liked you, you're going to tell them, can I speak to your class? And you tell the class, third graders, fourth graders, first graders, you want to stay in school and do well so that you can also go on to high school and graduate. Because you're going to be an engineer, an astronaut, a lawyer, an accountant, a teacher, a librarian. This is what you're going to do. Give a helping hand to those that are behind you. A very unselfish thing. Collect at the Thanksgiving time. Collect cans to take to the community, to the folks, the real poor families in the community. Do the same thing at Christmas. Have dances. Your club colors should not be red and black. Your club color should be the color of your school. Yellow and blue, red and white, whatever the school's color is, that's your Mecha logo, that's your club color. And you join the council of clubs at the school so that you can be part of it. You celebrate Cinco de Mayo, you bring in speakers, you bring in Dr. Rivera, you bring in Mindy, you meet Rudy, and all the other counselors that are here to talk on that. Anyway, yes, that's all it is. Very, very, very useful. When you're in college, you also want to be able to bring in more professors to teach Chicano studies. You want to make it a stronger program. That's about it. It's the only thing. It's very, very, it's a very good idea. And that's what Mex is all about. That's what whatever club, Latino club, anything. You celebrate Cinco de Mayo, you celebrate Independencia de El Salvador, Guatemala, and what I think the independence is very close. Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, very close together the same day, or the same area. So anyway, you celebrate that. That's your club. That's your responsibility. So that we can also organize how in the schools. Okay? And again, muchísimas gracias. Thank you.